Hello.
Hello.
Tell me you can see this stream.
I have a look, but I think yes, since it's already we can see Manda live on YouTube.
Okay. No idea.
Oh God, thanks.
Hi guys. Hi Calvin. Hi Lisa.
And everybody's back, so thanks for waiting.
Well, there's always going to be technical difficulties. Part of the problem is we're not exactly on what you'd call a wonderful internet connection here. They don't plan to have hardwire in this area till the end of next year. So it might come earlier, but they're telling us the end of the next year or so. That doesn't give us much of a choice. We're basically on a Wi-Fi from Valley Electric. So, what are you doing? Now, if you get off my hand, I can pet him. Okay, thank you. Hi, Mander. Hey, Mander. Hi, Jazz. Jazz is sitting on my shoulder. What are you doing up there? You're being quiet. She's being quiet. Lorelai. Lorelai. Yeah, Jasmine's on my shoulder. Cecil and Bob. Cecil and Bob.
That's a good boy.
Snowball. Snowbird. Snowball.
Oh wait, when Snowball is back there and I don't see any pink bird, they're all around you.
Yeah. They're congregating over here.
Oh, look, another one has a big toy. Oh, Mr. Cecil.
Somebody brought the wine. We're all set. Hi, Jazz. Yes, I know. I know. Pet me, pet me. Lorelai!
Oh, so many birdies. Happy Shook, Happy Mander.
Yeah. Hey. Be nice, Bob. Don't you chase her. Babaloo. Don't chase Lorelai. Hi, Fly. Hello, little Laurel Fly. How you doing, baby girl? Bob chasing you. Hello, monster. Oh, he's got a toy. More like a rope. Maybe something Alfred Hitchcock would be interested in.
Ah.
Did you
Have
mean
you watched
to
the
drop?
movie?
I can only watch in short bursts. I watched a half hour so far. I don't have much time to sit and watch movies, so I have to break off a half
Okay,
hour.
then I will not spoiler.
No, I have not watched all of it. I've got 2 more sittings before I can finish it. Do you have to be on my shoulder, Lorelai? Yeah, well, I guess that was
Who was that?
Lorelai.
What a sound.
I asked her if she had to be on my shoulder, and I get, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, you be nice to Lorelai. She's the one who taught you how to train. You don't need to be. Don't push Lorelai around. I mean it. It'd be nice to her.
And the
I know
wine.
that wine. We're going to be talking about lighting, but as you can see, they're not in the direct sunlight, which is fine. They're getting sunlight here, so this is about perfect for lighting for them. Wish we could get this all year long, but
Needy Shook. Amanda with, no, Cecil with a toy.
okay, guys. I've got Jasmine just right up next to my face because she wants Lorelei to preen her, and Lorelai's like, I am not just a preening machine. That's not all I do.
Yeah, silly birdies all around.
I think the Moluccans here are basically like the patricians in ancient Greece. You know, the democracy everybody talks about, where about 10% of the people ran everything and had all the perks, and everybody else was either a worker or a slave. So these are like the patricians. They think that they're entitled to being preened by everyone else, but they don't preen back.
Sugar, are you entitled? Oh, they are far sweeter than the patricians.
Oh yes, they are.
But I understand the reference, since they definitely are a little, yeah, weird when it comes to social interactions. Most of the time it's pretty subtle and no one notices it.
And they automatically do social distancing. They don't like to be too close to the others of their species.
Nope.
Right now, it's not that easy to change camera angles, but let me get in and switch the camera for a second. This is the
Lorelei
this is the
and the
patrician
blackbird
attitude.
Jasmine.
I need to be preened, and you're a white bird, so you'll do it. Lorelei is just like, leave me alone.
A white bird who is known for preening, because Lorelei often does it.
Yeah, she's a good preener, but she has her limitations. So I don't want to preen all day.
Nope.
Right, Laura? Cecil, I don't want you pooping on me, and you look like you're getting ready to. He's the only one that does it. Whoops, he's the only one that does it intentionally. He'll get above me just to tell me that he's not happy. Ever since we had, hey, stop it, had these issues between him and Lorelei, where they've decided to become mated. I can't do anything about that except try to somehow keep it under control, which is what he's unhappy about. He wants to be in the same. It's obvious he wants to be in the same cage that Lorelei's in, but Lorelei doesn't want that. Hi, what are you doing? You got a hair out of place there. It's not really a hair, but it kind of looks like it. What's going on with your head there, kid? You got a feather.
That looks real fun, Lucy. That little tiny feather sticking out. I think Lucy isn't happy with Cecil running around with a toy.
No, she's gonna tell him off. She's good.
Yeah, she's about to put a stop to it. This man has been.
Hey! No! Leave him alone. Excuse me for moving the camera around strange. I'm trying to keep the keys from falling out of my pocket because they'll run off with them. What are you doing? What are you doing, you big pest? Huh? You big pest? You're over my head again. I know about you. Hey, hey, hey. No, none of that. No. Don't mess with the Lorelei. She's trying to keep away from you while you have a toy. Cecil, good boy. So the essential thing with lighting is it's necessary for producing D3, and that helps them metabolize calcium and helps them, which helps them make their feathers. And calcium is necessary for muscle tone. Um, there's other benefits of getting light. A little tougher here in the desert, other than using one of those lights that you can move around, an avian light. You cannot don't go cheap and buy a reptile light. It will blind your birds. If you catch it soon enough, they can get their sight back. I know this from personal experience with some people who were adopting one of our birds. They found out that through experimentation. The vet they were going to had no clue, but they figured it out. Yeah, they're too strong for their eyes. They do produce the UVB, but way too strong. So, Cecil, they're going to watch you pacing. What is this? Back and forth, back and forth. And we got a bucket bird. Bob, are you a bucket boy today? Hmm? You a bucket boy? He's a character. He is a wonderful boy. He's been developing some issues though. I've had to work with these. The latest one is he hangs down like Batman from the rope, and then he nips at me or anybody who's around. He won't actually nip a bird, but he'll nip me. So I got to watch him. But you have to expect some changes in behavior and be ready to deal with them. Makes those courses I took, which cost quite a bit of money, just seem like they were worth every penny. Yeah, if without D3, these guys are going to have problems with their feather tone. You can see that they're getting enough light because their feathers look good, and they've got plenty of energy. And you need calcium to make those muscles move. Calcium, phosphorus, magnesium is the combination that your body uses to contract a muscle. So, what you doing? Yeah. Amanda's keeping a. Hey, you coming down on my shoulder? Why? When you got a toy, being on my shoulder is not the best thing. No, I don't mind him on my shoulder, but when he has a toy, not like this one anyway. Not when he's been running around. You calm down, and you can come up and whack me with that. You got to calm down a bit. He's not going to preen you right now. Yeah, I know. That's what you want. Bob, be nice. Bob, be nice. No, don't put your foot out. Jasmine, Bob does not want to preen you right now, so wouldn't mess with him. Sometimes you wish they could just understand the English, or I don't care what language. I'll learn it. Come here, Come here, get off my shoulder. Because when you're up on my shoulder right now, you're gonna try to get to him, and then he's putting his foot up, which means kind of like a person putting their foot down. When Bob puts his foot up, that means I'm not gonna do what you're asking. So. Yep. What's up, Lucy? She's all fascinated by whatever it is she's seeing out there. Usually she'll start bobbing her head when she gets like this. What are you doing, Luce?
That's really cute when she's doing that. And I also appreciate that she seems to have accepted that Sugar's new favorite place is directly next to hers.
Yeah, she seems to get along fine with Sugar. That was one head bob. I saw one head bob.
Yeah, yesterday she was dancing a bit around and not sure about Sugar sitting there, but today she looks fine.
Cecil is bundling his string up into a little ball now.
So Rosebud Atkins joined us in the chat, and it looks like Lisa has a little problem. She says that her husband has retired over 6 months now, and Rico is 24/7 on him, while Rico is flying on her and biting her harshly, bombing her face. Oh, poor Lisa. Yeah, that's definitely a big change when someone who used to go every day to work stays at home. So that's definitely also a change for the bird.
Yeah, any change is generally going to bring some kind of change in behavior. The more dramatic the change, the more dramatic change in the behavior usually. But sometimes it seems like it comes out of the blue too, but it isn't. It does sound like territoriality. If someone new is in the house and you're being bitten, you're being protected. You just doesn't feel like you're being protected, but you are. The majority of bites and nips that I get are when they're trying to protect me, but that's not the only time you get them. So Cecil will do it if he's playing. Or if he wants my attention and I don't catch it soon enough, he'll start to nip at me. Hi, little girl. Lorelai. You having fun with that, Bob? So you don't want to put them in the direct sunlight. You want to, if you have a spot where there is some direct sunlight, you want to make sure they have shade. That's kind of important to remember. They should be always able to get into the shade. And the best kind of sunlight they can get is this indirect sunlight out here. Now through a window, it blocks some of the light coming in. So windows are not the best situation, but they do get some UV that way, depending on the type of glass that's used. Hey Lucy, you gotta fix your feather up there. All right, yourself.
Well, Bob.
My arm isn't that long. You're whining at me there.
No, maybe she's also whining on the other birds who are preening each other, but not the Shug. That's so unfair. She's far more needy than everybody else.
She is. Yeah, she's definitely in charge of the needs department, aren't you, girl? So if you can get your bird out in a light for 15 minutes a day is great, or a half hour every other day, that kind of thing is good. If you can't, then you can buy an avian lamp, but you have to keep in mind they don't throw that UV very, those lamps don't. So you have to put it pretty close to one section of the cage and then kind of hope that they go there, because they're not effective at distance. And if you have a bunch of birds, then you just have to move the lamp around. Half hour on one cage, half hour on the next. That's not tough to do, but again, if they don't get under the lamp and they're more than 3 feet away from the light, they're not getting much UV. So, and I saw someone on TikTok. I saw someone where showed a video of a bird reaching out, because these guys have long legs. Okay, the go-go gadget legs, reaching out and grabbing what was left of the electrical cord that they had chewed. So you have to make sure the electrical cord is far away, and your best bet on lighting is to put it in some kind of metal protect. If you can get the metal protective casing to put around the lamp cord, that usually means you have to cut the end off and put it back on. But to keep them from chewing it, that's your best bet. You want down here? Well, come on. If you want to, you want me to pet you there. That figures. That figures, Mander. Yeah, I know you want to get preened. I know. I can hear you. That's a beautiful song, little girl. I've got Mander over here hanging off the side of the cage to get preened. Another thing you can do when you're looking at avian lamps, the different kinds that are available, you can ask, and I'm going to go back to AI here, ask ChatGPT to search the web. Now, I don't think you can do that with the free version. I pay for the full version because I use it all the time for little things. After a while, you just get used to asking your question there first. But you can ask it if this particular lamp has any negative reviews, and then it'll go search the web and bring the reviews up for you instead of trying to hunt them down yourself. You can hunt them down yourself. It'll take 15-20 minutes to do it, but I don't have extra time, so I just ask ChatGPT for it, and it'll research. But I know the people who had the problem with their birds' vision, they had to figure this out on their own. So, which meant searching all over the internet, trying to find out if there was some problem with reptile lamps, and they finally found it on a veterinary site somewhere that said you can't use them. A quick check on ChatGPT now makes that so you don't have to do all that hunting. Bob, you having fun with that? You're about done with it. Off he goes into the bucket.
The Bob. I hope Cecil and Laura don't try to make the stream 18 plus.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that. They'll usually try to get one session in like that while they're out here. I won't let them have any more, but that's another reason you don't want your birds to get mated together. But besides the other is that he becomes protective of her, and there's issues between them too. So they wouldn't last too long in a single cage with each other. That's for sure. he gets far too aggressive. That's just common in captivity. It doesn't happen in the wild. So at least there's never been a biologist who's been studying any of these parrots who's ever seen it. So the only aggression they see in the wild is when some male tries to steal a female, that kind of thing. If for some reason there aren't enough females in the flock. But even that's pretty rare. Just in mating season and just under those circumstances. You want some more petting over there, big boy? Is that what you want? Hi. Well, you took all the time to come over, so I should pet you, huh? All right. Big boy. He's such a big boy, Commander. You don't think of yourself as a big boy, I don't think. No.
So let's say hi to Jim and Jamie who joined in chat. And then we have a little discussion. If the first one wanted to know if KK is out, and Lisa already answered, KK is not out.
No, KK, he doesn't do well with the pink birds. He tends to go after the pink ones. So he comes out and hangs out with the male umbrella over there. And the other male umbrella, Cecil. And so he's out here with Snowball and Cecil.
Yeah, and Rosebud is surprised to see Babaloo.
Oh yeah, he does fine out here. He just doesn't do well at all in the inside.
It's amazing to see how surrounding can change their behavior.
Yeah, they found that out at the San Diego Zoo when they started redoing all the enclosures there. Now, if you guys, yeah, Lucy.
I guess they have seen something outside.
Lucy, what you doing?
Is that a hawk alarm?
Probably. She's moving away.
We haven't had that in a long time.
Yeah, there aren't a lot of hawks around here. There's a few, but
good girl, Lucy. Well done. Warning the flock.
Hey.
Don, do you know the name of the nail Dremel you use? That's a question from Lisa.
No, I mean I can tell you what kind they are, but I use for doing nails. I do the conical Dremel bit. The actual Dremel I have is just your standard electric Dremel that you plug into the wall, and I put a foot switch on it. So it's just a regular Dremel. But as far as the bit, I use a conical bit. For nails. For beaks, I generally use, and I can't get a conical in this, I use a diamond bit. So it is, instead of being a cone, it's just a cylinder. But it can do the work. With a diamond bit, you can cut a beak down really fast. You can still do it with the standard carborundum bits, but it takes a lot longer, and you don't want them to be undergoing the bit treatment for too long. The beak treatment. But if you need the kind of bits I use, I can put up pictures of those. They make a little battery operated. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, unless you have to. I mean, if I were going to do nails out here, I'd have to. There isn't an electrical plug out here. I'd have to bring over the electric generator. And actually, the setup I have is quite similar to what Dr. Jenkins has. It's just a Dremel hooked to a foot switch. You want a foot switch because you want to be able to turn it on and off without having to fiddle with it, right? So that way, if you need for some reason, like when you're dremeling on a bird, if a feather gets wound up in that little, the between the bit and the Dremel itself, if you don't have enough space there, then you can accidentally start pulling out feathers. You need to make sure that the bit is high enough up so it's not going to catch the feathers. But for nails, the conical works best because you can use the more or less flat side to get them to shorten them, and then you can use the conical tip to trim them around. Yeah, can I play with your foot? You want down here? Is that what you want? Okay. Yeah, for the nails, it's the conical bit. So. And I will put up a picture of those so you know what to use. When you're doing dremeling, though, just practice on. If you haven't done it before, do some practice. Probably thinking obsidian's probably the best thing to practice on if you can get a hold of it, because you learn to watch for fracture points, because with this obsidian, if you start hitting it too fast with a Dremel, it's just going to shatter. But you can try it on like moss agate or some semi-hard stone to get the hang of the Dremel. Just need to be careful with it because they can do damage too. I mean, I have to Dremel around the tongue, which means I have to open the beak a little bit and get my finger on that tongue and hold it back. Yeah, so that's like the lion tamer with the chair, right? And if they come down on my finger, it's not going to be pleasant. But you have to make sure you don't Dremel their tongue. That's why generally it's best to let the professionals do that. But if you've had practice with a Dremel, or if you work at it and get some guidelines from your veterinarian, is another way. I did that. In fact, I talked to Dr. Young about what kind of bit he thought was best. He said he always uses the conical bit. So, but I had been cutting cabochon and using a Dremel and when I had my jewelry equipment before it got stolen, so I was familiar with the Dremel. And this is someone who, when I was in school, my shop teacher wouldn't let me use the power tools, so you can be taught. Hi, Lorelai. Hi, baby girl. So if you have more than one bird, you want to just move that light around from one to the other if you can't get them outside. Better if you can get them outside. But there's issues with outside too. I mean, there's things called hawks. And if you have an aviary like this and you have an open, an area, if you don't have a cover like we do here, we have the awning, right? If you don't have that, what can happen is the hawks can come diving down and attack. Or if you have something like a begins with a C. I can't think of it now. Some hawks can attack laterally, which means they'll just fly over and try to attack the feet of a bird in a cage outside. Cooper's hawk. The other thing you have to worry about is other animals coming in. Like if you were to leave them out here, what would happen if something came through the bars, right? So issues with being outside too. Not to mention the possibility someone will come and steal your bird. So, but you can go outside with them for 15, 20 minutes a day. Get them a little light. What now, Lou? What now? She's back away from the bars of the aviary, so she sees something she wants to stand back from. Oh, funny things to talk about. There was a someone on X who was talking about they didn't think that that veterinary offices should allow animals to walk around like cats or dogs walk around, or waiting rooms in healthcare centers and that kind of thing, because you could be allergic to them. And I said, well, they let kids in there and kids carry all kinds of disease. And she says, well, I don't know anyone who's allergic to children. And I said, I am. That was the last thing I had to say. No more comment. I'm not allergic to these kids. Oh, they're not kids. So that's a fully grown female there, aren't you? Sugar. Aren't you, Sugarbird? Are you a fully grown female Sugarbird? Are you?
The Shuggy.
Yep. Cecil, what are you doing? What's up, Cecil? Here, let me get. All right.
Little bucket boy action back there. I love that Babalu has joined the club.
When we were at that place we were stuck at for 7 months, there had a camera crew when we were trying to get a little help to get out of there and get the birds to someplace where they weren't cramped in one room. And one of the camera guys stuck his fingers in the cage. He actually took his iPhone, put it through the cage, and was holding it, and he got nipped. Cecil got him. The funny thing is, he looked at his hands and he couldn't see any bleeding. You know how they bite, where you get that puncture wound? It takes a while for the blood to come out. Lucy. What's up, Luke? What do you see? What do you see, Lucy? What's up? I hear crows. I hear ravens out there, but what? What's up? Make up your mind, Cecil. Hey, Bob. Hey, Babaloo. You want down? All right. You want down or not? Silly bird. Silly bird. Bob's a good bird. Oh, he loves those strings. That's his favorite part of that toy. He likes the little beads on them too, but his favorite part is the string.
So playful.
Bob.
And for everybody who has no experience with birds, this aviary was perfectly clean until the point Don let Babaloo and Cecil in, and you can see what they do in playing an hour.
Yeah. It doesn't take long for them to destroy things, that's for sure.
That's the thing when you see videos where everything is perfectly cleaned up around the birds, that doesn't really resemble reality.
Yeah, back when we used to rehome, um, one of the checks that we had when you walked into someone's house is the color of the carpet. If they had white carpet, no birds. It's an automatic no.
Ah,
Because we know how people are about white carpet, right? If the white carpet is clean too, I mean, if it looks spotless, yeah, they're not gonna. They don't want a bird. They think they do, but they don't. I think that's true of dogs and dogs too. Dogs and cats. Anybody with white carpet probably doesn't want a dog or a cat. But with birds, got you want me to help you with that? Guess not. Are you playing around with the feather fluff there? Guess he is. Okay. Mom. So try to get your birds some sunlight. You know, at least 3 days of the week. 15 minutes if they're under it, under an avian lamp, or 15 minutes outside. Or if they're running around the cage, leave it up longer. You can get one of the tall ones that has a stand that you can pick and move around if you have more than one bird. You won't have more than one bird in a cage by itself. I mean, but you want to keep them by themselves. So I mean, budgies can sometimes get along in the same cage, but I would not do that with cockatoos or any other parrot, full-size parrot, big parrot.
Yeah, the thing is, budgies are so much smaller than like cockatoos. So if you want to have the same size budgie cage you want to have for it's basically the size of your own house. So that's a problem.
Yeah. Budgies don't tend to. Well, they can. I mean, if one of the budgies you have in a cage is weaker, a lot weaker for some reason, they will taunt it. So you have to be careful there too.
Yeah, sometimes. It
It's
really
rare.
depends on the relationship and the personality of the budgies. So what I had, it was usually that even if we had once a bird who was more older than the other and a little elderly and going, yeah, becoming weaker. So the other tended more to be careful and caring for him. So it's really interesting to see the dynamic.
But with these big guys, if you put a male and female in the same cage, they might be okay for
That's
a
the
year.
next thing. I'm not sure if I would do male and female. You can do, but I've never tried that.
No, I would. Lucy.
Hawk alarm or alien alarm. You are so close to Area 51, I cannot distinct between.
Could be an alien, yeah. Could be. The problem with these guys, well, like Snowball and Chloe, they played together. They weren't in the same cage, but hey, what do you see there, little girl? What is it? What is it? Lucy, what's up? You know, they used to play together, but he eventually started ripping her feathers out. So, and cornering her. So I had, I caught him doing that, and I had to take him, separate him, and she was never the same after that. She was never really a happy bird after that happened. But it is common, almost guaranteed, if you put a male and female together. Two males probably wouldn't do too well together. I wouldn't put two females together either. Not with these big guys. They got so much attitude. You never know what you're going to end up with. Bob has no sense of propriety. You only preen the head and the neck. That's it. Bob.
Bob, you're a good boy. The audience Thanks, you are very entertaining. Hey, Bob.
Cecil's got his swagger going now. Suck it, boy.
Oh my, guys.
Hello.
This could be in any Western movie. Cecil and Bob eyeing each other.
Hello. 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 That's when you try to get them to vocalize when they start talking. Hello. Well, one of these days you'll do that online. One of these days. At least he did it 5 times when I was talking to Amy one time, but you haven't said Cecil. Nobody's heard you say Cecil except me. Once he picked up the toy, I gave up because he's not going to be making any vocalizations when he's got a toy. Right, Lorelai? Why are you pointing the phone at me? How do you know I'm pointing it at you? That's the question. They react differently when the flat face of the phone is towards them. So somehow they know I'm doing something different when I'm pointing it at them like that. Yeah, he did swagger like a gunslinger. That's kind of how he goes. He's got quite the swagger.
Hey, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Hey, Bob. Babaloo Bob.
Keep in mind, she's done a lot of work to create a whole bunch of stuff. Coffee cups, t-shirts, and greeting cards, and towels, and Babaloo underwear.
That's the hit.
Babaloo boxers. Bob says I have no idea what he's saying, but Bob! Babaloo! What is it with you and Lorelai lately? Why are you so interested in what she's doing? And could you make less of a mess in an hour, please? Look at this. And this is just what they've done in an hour here. Elevator? All right. So I'll post some information on lighting for everyone. You little toad. Someone's back to chewing on the tarp. Bob, be nice to her. No, leave her alone. I'll leave him alone. That's Cecil. Bob. You guys.
Cutie pies.
Hi, Cecil.
That's Babaloo. He always wants to be involved.
Yep, careful. Yeah. Yeah. You got to be
Oh,
careful.
my
You
Bob.
fall on your tail.
You're so impressive. Yes, you are. Proud Bob. Mr. Bob outlived his prognosis.
Yeah.
At least over 10 years.
Yeah. It's amazing that he has lapsed. The diet has helped. There's no question. Working out that diet with Dr. Jenkins, and they're all on a variation of that diet, so it makes a difference. Sugar's not in any danger of it now. She's not making any more straining sounds, so that's the first sign is when they start straining her. If it takes longer than a couple of seconds to go to the bathroom, you know you got a problem. Well, they don't actually go to the bathroom, do they? They don't have to waste time in a bathroom.
Nope. They just can let it drop.
They're pretty good about where they let it drop, though. Come here, Bob. Except for Cecil, who's definitely got me. He's got it out for me. So, although he probably won't bother me now because he's been out with Lorelai for a while. So,
Jasmine also looks pretty busy back there.
yeah, she's busy, all right. That little girl.
Amanda's happy no one is bothering him. Lucy is out, so does Snowball. She's running around for preening opportunities, I guess. Well, not running, but that's basically what Shug Shug running looks like, no, Shuggy? How about doing a little robo walk?
Well, folks, that's about it for today. They've got more time out here, but we're gonna spend our time just concentrating on them. So, thanks for being here, and remember, we're here Mondays and Wednesdays, and we are popping up on other days too. So when we can, try to do a little bit later in the day and some weekends now that we have a better service. So thanks for being here. You want to say goodbye, Lorelai? Oh, that Lorelai look. That's the look like, oh no, I've got another one who's a patrician who wants me to do her service, preen her. Although
finally we know what the P stands for in pink.
yeah. Well, thanks for being here, guys. We will see you later. Thanks, Amy, for your support, moderation.
Thank you for the stream.
And all the work you did making all that wonderful merchandise. And Cecil, say we are out of here.
Science knowledge only adds to the excitement, the mystery, and the awe of a flower.
Evidence is evidence. It's public. Everybody can look at the evidence and assess it, and eventually, if there's enough evidence, come to the same conclusion.
The Chloe Sanctuary for Parrots and Cockatoos, a nonprofit charity dedicated to the empowerment of captive parrots and public awareness.